Brian Witherspoon, Mina, what do you think about him and really why he could be deserving of that highest paid corner spot in the NFL?
Dan hit it when he talked about how complete his game is and his versatility. And it's so important to what this Super Bowl winning Seattle defense did, which is their ability to defend the run from sub packages when teams put big bodies on the field. In order to do that, you have to have players at all three levels who can tackle, who are willing tacklers. And Witherspoon is exactly that. Also, thinking about many of the offensive trends right now, teams getting into those condensed formations. Again, having corners who can tackle like Witherspoon can is so significant. He is the only cornerback in the NFL who ranks both top 10 in coverage DVOA and yards per carry on run tackles. The completeness of his game is what makes him so special, as well as, and Dan touched on this too, the inside-out versatility from a matchup perspective allows Seattle to move him around depending on who their opponents are and what their opponents are doing with their wide receiver ones. Just everything they could have hoped for and more when they drafted him 5th overall, and not surprising that they got this deal done.
Yeah, line. But I do think if you're Arizona, you're trying to be smart. You're aware that you're not going to be a contender this season when it comes to a playoff push. He's a huge part of your potential future once you get more talent around in the quarterback. So I think it'd be a significant loss when it comes to, what to look forward to and potential.
He's a bit of a bright spot.
Yeah, but Allgeier's a good player. So it's not like they don't have anybody behind him that can't have impact.
Von Miller obviously was posting some workout videos. I think at one point he said he can roll out of bed and get you 8 sacks if you need it. I think we all have massive respect for who he is as a football player. Obviously his resume is ridiculous. Multiple time Super Bowl champion, has done great deals. He wants to be a GM in the future, loves the sport, loves the league. He was with the Commanders last year, had 9 sacks. Nobody's seen him. I didn't see any of those. I didn't see one of those. I had no idea that was the case.
It is unbelievable how many texts I got today of people being like, he had 9 sacks. I mentioned on TV, like, he had 9 sacks. Yeah, he had 9 sacks. Those are real.
And so with Cam now in the care of Coach Daboll on that side of the football, what have you seen already between when you first started breaking a sweat with Cam back in the spring to now that you're like, okay, I see the gradual improvement? What can you identify for me there?
Well, the biggest thing is just the constant communication. They're constantly communicating. They're constantly talking about the different things that are happening, not only in practice, not only in the game, but in practice, from drill to drill to play. And so as long as the dialogue is strong and as long as there's open communication and honest communication, I think you're always going to find growth. And Cam, one thing about Daboll, he's not gonna sugarcoat anything. He's going to tell you exactly where you are and what you need to get done and how you need to do it. And to Cam's credit, he's taking all the coaching, wants all the coaching, and he's attacking it with every fiber in his body.
I just want more urgency from Shedeur. So, I would tell you that off of one game that all I'm going off of, not going off of every day in practice, I'm not there. I would tell you Deshaun has the advantage, and it looks like a clear advantage to me.
Well, and Shadour's going to be with the ones now going for the next preseason game. A little bit different on who you're playing with, when you're playing with them. Shedeur has brought a spark to that Browns team. His stats never looked good, though. Like last year, he brought a spark, a good vibe, and then the stats would be like, okay, we can't put stats on here and compliment Shedeur because everybody's going to kill him. So maybe with the ones here for the next preseason game, he'll be able to showcase what he is.
Have the Cowboys been circling around Von Miller, Todd?
Yeah, it was something that they talked about before training camp, but it never really got really going until training camp started. It's funny, I just got off the phone with DeMarcus Ware a little bit ago, and he was telling me in his conversations with Vaughn, he said the only team that has really reached out to him during this process is the Cowboys. And, he was kind of willing into the existence here by posting pictures of him on social media and stuff like that. And yesterday it finally come down. It always felt like, just from talking to people in the organization, it was going to be a when it was going to happen, not an if. And now he's going to be coming out here today. Probably won't do anything tomorrow in practice, obviously against the Saints. But he's a guy that the Cowboys really need to help their pass rush, for sure.
Well, Jordan.
Well, I don't know that my answer is specific to Clinton, how he's going to go about it. I certainly don't know. But I just think with any rookie that's drafted high, particularly at 1 overall, if it's close, then play them. If they're ready, then play them. And if they're not, then you've got a great person to start the season off in Kirk Cousins, who's done it and looks pretty good from everything that I've heard. But with Fernando, again, kind of with my point earlier, playing well in the preseason, in my opinion, he should. He's a really good player. He played at a much higher level in college last year. We talk about going through the Big Ten and then going through the college football playoff and winning it all, beating Miami and all that. he should play well in the preseason. And even from a game planning perspective, the volume is so much lower of what you have in on offense. And so the anticipation that the player is able to play faster, and whether that's get out of the huddle faster or go through progressions faster, that makes sense to me. And Fernando, essentially, to me, just looked the part. I kind of expected him to go in there, go through progressions and play well and throw with confidence and conviction. And that's what he did. And so it really is, it's just a kind of a glorified practice in terms of, there's people in the stands and there's lights and it's on TV, but not if your context is Heisman Trophy and national champion. These lights are not very bright at all. And the expectation that I would have for players like him is to go in and play well and look the part.
Do you feel like the athlete you were before those injuries last year, or do you think there is still some room to kind of continue to grow back to it?
I feel really good. I'd say maybe there's a little bit of progress still to be made. I think just kind of like the overall conditioning of it and building up your kind of workload on it, and through the course of a training camp, I'll continue to feel better. But like I said, I don't have any limitations. I feel quick. I feel like I can get out of the pocket. I can move around in the pocket well, and all that stuff. So I think there's still there's a process to it, but I feel really good.
So what we knew up until last night was he was going to be out for the week because of an ankle sprain. We asked Mike LaFleur, high or low. Mike wouldn't tell us, and then Adam Schefter came out last night with the tweet and the report that it was a high ankle sprain. So he'll probably miss, at least the next 2 or 3 weeks leading into week 1. Like Adam reported, they're hopeful that he's back for week 1 against the Chargers. Will he survive? It's a great question. The way I've watched him being used during training camp is I can see them using him more as a feature back. So not the every down guy, because they signed Tyler Algier in the offseason to kind of be that short yardage, bruising type of back, and they can kind of use Love as kind of in unique situations. But will he survive the whole season? Now he's playing like this, right? He was very anxious to play this offseason. He told us all he was going to play in the Hall of Fame game. That didn't happen. Like, he wanted to go out there and show what he can do. Obviously, he went a little too hard, hurt that ankle. But I don't think they're going to let him kind of be that running back that goes too much because they have such a deep room. So I think they'll use him in certain situations. They'll use him out of the backfield in the passing game. He has great hands, great receiver for running back. But if he continues to run like this, I don't see a way he survives.
We just heard, Todd Monken talking about he's pleased with the quarterback play. Deshaun Watson saying, he's not sure if he did enough to earn that week 1 starter spot. But in your opinion, who's the best option at QB1 for this Browns team?
Well, I think Deshaun Watson has the experience. There's no doubt about that. And if he can just find a way to get his confidence back, I think this game helped him. He's been under a lot of stress of late, last couple seasons. And so you don't know what to think. But I think tonight's performance helps him. It also proves to the football team that, you know what, I still have a little something left here. So he has something to prove. So Sanders, obviously, very competitive. All right, I've known this little guy. Last name Sanders, he's going to compete. So this is going to be fun to watch because Watson knows if I'm not the starter, this could be it for me. My career might be over.
Are there expectations? He's obviously going to be a hungry player. He's got a coach that quarterbacks love to play for.
No doubt. Kevin O'Connell was former quarterback. Yeah. So he knows a lot about the quarterback position. And when you think about their offense, Addison, Jefferson, Hawkinson, Jones, they have some outstanding skilled players. They just need a quarterback not to do too much. Just run the offense. Kyler Murray realizes, you know what? All I got to do is run the offense. I don't have to run around. Just you sit in the pocket, get the ball out of your hand. So this is going to be kind of fun to watch this competition. Kyler Murray's another guy. He's trying to resurrect his career. Now, how many quarterbacks have we seen gone to other places? Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. And all of a sudden they find a coach that understands who they are, and the player flourishes.
Sam Darnold.
That's what I'm saying. Sam Darnold. How about that?
Yeah, the right set and setting and circumstance, and that
It's that water in Seattle. They have good drinking.
How can we expect Harbaugh to affect the growth of Dart as a player?
Well, if you think about Coach Harbaugh, he's probably putting his arms around his neck and he says, "Look, I know you like the playoff schedule. I had a quarterback in Baltimore, wanted the playoff schedule by the name of Lamar Jackson. But you got to understand, you win more games from playing from the pocket, and guess what? You're protected there. I can't protect you when you playoff schedule a lot, right? And so he's got to run the offense, which I think he's trying to do. He understands that.
Although that pocket he wasn't protected.
No, that's going to happen. See, that's when you got a playoff schedule, when you feel the heat.
Yeah.
But you got to first learn how to play from the pocket and understand the protections and know where, you know what? it might be weak over here. So I got to understand that. You know, when you see all the great quarterbacks, when they're in the pocket, they understand the protection. That's the first thing. They understand who's going to be blocked, who's not going to be blocked.
But is his frustration with the frequency of the 10 visits fair?
But you know what? But they're trying to protect him. Okay. That's all. Right. And I get it. The league is very, very cautious about player injury and safety. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
But you know what I tell them? Don't get hit.